Yeah, well, welcome back to another episode of Cali Manila Chronicles, Chismis et Recuerdos, the podcast.
It is
Episode,
episode, I believe it's episode 8 now.
episode 8. Yes, episode 8. Yeah, we had a little bit of a gap uh, from episode 7. We're recording now after Christmas. Medyo maraming pangyayari.
Yeah,
Maraming updates on life and all good things. I mean, again, thankful for the season, thankful for the gift of family. Um, but yeah, Sean, how's your Christmas? How are you doing?
it's been great. It's been really great. It's my first time. I believe it's your first time to spend Christmas with my wife.
Mm,
Uh, and yeah, it's luckily right now when we're recording, it's our wedding anniversary today. Uh,
oh,
so it's been a really blessing to to feel that the first time feeling, right?
yes,
So it's been really great to see both sides spend Christmas with my side, spend Christmas with her side, uh, and just be just be everyone is healthy.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
it's been it's always a feeling of gratitude when you go from this Christmas and you eat a lot of this Noche Buena, and then you give gifts to kids, uh, and all of your loved ones. But I think the most fortunate feeling is you can see everyone uh, that is healthy,
yes,
uh,
yes,
and that's one thing that it is really really I'm appreciative of. Uh, and aside from all of the crazy things that happen outside outside of uh the family part and the work part, this this would be the most that I wanted to emphasize of. How about you?
well, I'll start off first. Congratulations on 1 year to
Ah,
you in
thank you,
April. Yeah,
thank you.
that's a huge milestone. I know the first year is always I would consider it the hard year because you learn about everything about your partner that you didn't know before. Wala na yung
Yeah,
ligaw-ligaw. It's it's real. This is life, and then you
yes.
the true colors show up. But it's the best time because then you really know your partner for real, and with all the struggles and all the good parts included. So congrats to you guys. That's a
Oh,
huge milestone.
thank you, bro. Yeah.
In regards to mine, so this since the last episode, so after Thanksgiving holiday, we got word that my father-in-law was going into um, a surgery for tumor in his lung, and so that one is a little sudden. Like we knew that he had it. He knew about it a while back. Like it's been growing slowly, and then the doctors finally said like let's take it out. And so the good part was that he was able to get it taken out right before the holidays, so he could still enjoy the holidays. Um, but I think yung nakakaba, so the part that got us nervous was that we didn't know if it was going to be cancer. Like
Oh,
we didn't know if it was going to be cancer that is severe. Like it's either cancer that was just localized or it was a later stage of cancer. So I think the most frightening part were the few days where we had to wait for the doctors to come out with the biopsy. So um, yeah, the great part was the surgery. was just a couple hours, and then he was out of the hospital after a day, and then 5 days later, we finally got news that it's they took everything out. It was cancer. They were able to take all the cancer out. So that was a that was a great blessing right before Christmas. So
Yeah,
honestly, can't ask for anything more. That's the only thing
the
at this
best
point.
gift.
It's absolutely, just gift of health and gift of family, and obviously a longer road of recovery for my father-in-law. But it's uh, again another reason not to take health for granted. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's been it.
always it's always tough for that feeling. You want to end the year. You want to end the year with the best feeling. Uh everyone is having anything outside gifts, festivities, and then you go right away. Okay, there's something going on.
Yeah,
That's But yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. It's not always ups and ups. There's always downs.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
you can control what you can control anything.
Yeah, I think it's a good reminder that like yeah, there are a lot of things that will happen in life that we cannot control. Uh, but this is a good reason to reflect on the things that we have that we can be thankful for. And yeah, honestly, this is the best gift that we could ever ask for, and it's a reminder that we need to take care of ourselves too. I'm glad that my father-in-law uh, takes care of himself, and he got this checked right away. That like it wasn't any worse. But yeah, just thankful for all the anyone who's in the medical field. Like you guys are the superheroes for making all this happen, um, and for everyone else who has gone through something like this. I hope that yeah, I just hope that it's all good news right now for especially during this holiday season. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But shout out to Tito. Don't Red Horse muna. Don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, everyone is praying for your quick recovery, and I'm including myself. And uh, just listen
Yeah.
to everyone. That's always the hard part. I think everyone can attest to that. It's not it's not just like in the U.S. problem. It's like a family problem. Once you get have that for your parents, for your loved ones that had that age, and then it's just uh some most of the time they don't listen.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's just this is the last thing I'll say about it, that it's just so weird to see our parents get to this age where we're seeing them grow older and all of this are starts to happen, and I feel like we're starting to this feeling of like reverse parenting where we are now the
you're
parents, and
yeah, but
yeah,
that's okay. That's okay. That's part of it.
it is.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
but
is.
uh, we can go ahead on the next one, bro. I would like to know, and what is your chismes? You can
Cheese
share.
sneeze. Oh man. Okay, cheese sneeze, cheese sneeze. So, um, have you guys seen Wicked the musical yet? Wicked
No,
the
bro.
movie. Oh man. Okay. This is just a phenomenon right now. So Wicked, the movie is based on a musical, uh, a retelling of the story of Wizard of Oz. Are
Yeah,
you familiar? So
yeah.
Wizard of Oz. I think we watched it at school too, where it's about this is a retelling from the standpoint of Glinda, the Good Witch, and then her friendship with Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West. So the Green Witch in the Wizard of Oz, and uh, I just loved this movie because it was so. Spoiler for people, it's gonna be three
I
hours
believe
long.
I believe everyone watched it except for me.
It's very yeah. Anyways, if you guys haven't watched it, it's about 3 hours long, but I personally enjoyed every minute of it because I've seen the musical itself. So the musical itself, uh, it's mainly songs. In the musical, like there's no dialogue. It's like song after song after song. And then in this movie, there's a lot more. Uh, they fill it with more dialogue so that you get a deeper backstory of who the characters are. And yeah, it's so good. The way that they um, they created the storylines for the characters, even for the backup characters, like you feel for these characters, and then just amazing visuals, dude. Like the choreography of the dancing, uh, the uh, yeah, dude, just everything about it. The world building, the way that they created this like land of Oz, so beautiful. So if you
Is there
guys,
like a sequel or like because if they created a universe, probably another storyline for this movie, which you said
yeah,
is just focused on Glinda, right? So,
yes. I mean it's a two-part. So this is just
ah,
part one right now. Part two is coming out next year, and so it's gonna be, yeah, I'm excited for it. But the music is beautiful. The singing is probably one of the best uh, quality of singing that I've ever heard for a movie, like a movie adaptation of a musical. So
well, if
um,
it's Ariana Grande, and I I I think her partner there, the Green Witch, I've
yeah,
seen her in most some of the movies that is musical as well.
yes, Color Purple, she was in there. Um, yeah, she's just amazing. Like her voice is money. Like
Is
perfect.
she in the movie with Hugh Jackman?
Hugh
The
Jack, Greatest Showman.
yeah,
That one? No, I don't think so. I don't remember if she was there, but not surprised if she had a smaller role in the other musicals because her vocal range is amazing. Um, yeah, big kudos to Ariana Grande too. Her way of acting was like perfect for this role. I was not a fan before, not gonna lie, but I'm a big fan now. Like just she loved this role. Like I've watched a few interviews of her like really wanting this role, and I was like, why, dude? Like and and after seeing the interviews of how much she like grew to love this role growing up, like there was an interview of how she went backstage for the musical, and this whole
oh,
story inspired her, and she like really aspired to play Galinda when she grew up, and
uh-huh.
it's just beautiful. So I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't yet. And for any of the viewers who have watched it, I want to hear your thoughts. What did you guys think? Yeah.
Yeah. We will watch it. We will watch it once they're available in Netflix.
Netflix.
But yeah, my uh, we didn't watch it because it's probably for just bad timing.
Yeah.
Between November and December, but I mean October and November. Uh, and I also because there's a movie, a local movie. I know you've heard of it. It's with a local artists here, the Gay Traction Worldwide. They
Uh-huh.
had a movie. It is called Share. Because I watched it uh up twice with my wife, and then another one with my mom and with my wife. It's Hello Love Again.
Hello, love again. What is this?
So It's a sequel,
Oh, okay.
and
Yes,
it's like most of the cinemas is just showing that movie
I see.
here in a in abroad,
Yes, yes.
and uh, they really had I think one of the best directors in terms of showing a story here.
Hmm.
And on the first movie, it shows how the life of an OFW in Hong Kong, a domestic helper, a typical OFW in Hong Kong.
Mm.
Now, in in the second movie, it shows the life in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So it's a it's a labor of love, I would say, that
I see.
it can see the sentiments of how people work there. It's the life of an OFW that
Hmm.
you're just only like if you're just only one person there working your ass off for your family.
I see.
And so it's and I don't know if there's a third one, probably not, but probably that's why it's one of the highest grossing movies, local
Mm.
movies, because it could really relate to people,
Wow.
Filipino families, especially for those families that their loved one is in abroad.
Mm. I see. No, I love this. I just looked it up. So the the first movie, yun ba yung Hello, Love, Goodbye?
Yep, yep,
That's the one. 2019. I see. And then Hello, Love Again is the one in that just came out this year.
yep,
Wow, okay. Yeah, yeah, I gotta figure out a time to watch this. It's available. I think it's available here in the States too, so I
yep,
gotta
yep.
check it
It
out.
showed it's the highest gross movies, and it's good to see how I hope some of the families here, the Philippines, uh, because just to show the culture of love, but at the same time the pros and the cons, you know, the ultimate perception that if you're based in your loved one is based in outside the Philippines, like it's like
Hmm.
you're thinking of them as a bank, which is not. Like,
Thinking of them as a bank. Explain more for our
uh,
viewers that are here.
uh, it's because let's say 50% is you want to have your dream job. You want to earn a living where your family will be financially flexible.
Hmm.
You can help your parents. If you have siblings, you can help them study.
Yeah.
Uh, and after that, sometimes I would say most of the families support them until, even though they already have families, it's it's like it non-stop help.
Mm.
Uh, but I believe it's just because of the love. Uh, but the catch or the problem with that is sometimes most of the families here uh just try to lean onto them and not doing anything here in the Philippines.
Mm.
So
I see.
they just really depend how on the earnings of their loved one based abroad.
I see. I see.
But I'm not. It's their decision. It's like but I believe it should change sometime. I would say it's not for all.
Yeah.
Uh, but uh, it's a sense of a responsibility of the OFW. But at the same time, it should be addressed as well, which
Yeah.
is shown in the movie.
Mm. I see. I see.
Like
Yeah, I'm looking
just
forward to seeing that
uh
movie.
I'll probably share a scene that is really good. Like uh I don't know if you know Catherine Bernardo,
I do, I
the
do.
woman. So uh her sibling called like, oh, uh ate, uh I'm sorry, I'm pregnant. Like, oh, so what are we gonna do? Check what? Oh, okay, I'll transfer money just to check up. So are you still together? No, we're not together anymore. So like, okay. So another one that she should take care of.
Oh, I see. I see.
So,
Oh, so like the story is about Catherine Bernardo supporting her family in the Philippines who
but it's a continuation from the Hong Kong and the previous one.
okay. Got it.
It's
Got it.
it's just I believe it's the perfect timing because now the writer's side they could now include the pandemic part.
Mm, how that affected OFWs.
Yes.
Interesting. Wow, yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. Um, I think uh, for our listeners who don't know what we're talking about, OFWs. So OFWs are overseas Filipino workers, and they make up a huge chunk of uh, the Philippine economy.
Yep.
So
That's
yeah,
true.
it's huge. I'm just looking it up right here that in 2022, OFWs made up about 9% of the country's GDP, which is
Yep.
insane. And why this is a common theme for Filipinos is because um, work in the Philippines uh, typically doesn't pay well enough, and so a lot of Filipinos end up going overseas to find work uh, in various areas, but typically hospitality, uh, and in order to support their families back home. And so that's what Sean was alluding to when he was talking about Catherine Bernardo supporting her family. And I'm guessing she jumps from different countries in order to find work that can sustain and sustain her lifestyle, and but also sustain the family's lifestyle. And it's a real thing. A lot of any Filipino that you ask, their parents or some parent of their friends likely have gone through this or still going through it. And so
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
notice that a lot of Filipinos uh, are are living away from each other. Um, and I think since this is a holiday episode as well, this is probably one of the reasons why Filipinos uh, are so excited to gather together during the holidays, because this is the time when you get to really appreciate the gift of family and the gift of having people around you during the holidays, because most of these overseas Filipino workers probably don't get much time with their families. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's why it's
yeah,
the busiest airport during December because everyone wants to go home.
yeah,
And uh,
absolutely.
whichever line of work you are, if you're a seaman, if you're working outside like at OFW, working everywhere in US, even just like family based on different area, just coming home, celebrate it. It's really different. It's really different to celebrate here.
Yeah.
And uh it's a crazy long Christmas gatherings.
Yeah, for Filipinos, we start the Christmas celebration starting in the Burr month. So
Yeah.
starting September, you start playing Christmas music, and then the countdown begins, which leads us to uh, a topic I wanted to talk about, which is
Yeah.
uh, how is Christmas different in the Philippines versus the States? I think that's a
Yeah.
this is a good topic we can touch on.
Yes.
It's it's very different. So I'll start off on the side of the state. So um, for our viewers and listeners, I've been here in the States since 2006. So I got to live the first 13 years of my life in the Philippines. And the Christmas time is really one of those moments when I miss the Philippines a lot. Like, um, I miss that I get to play Christmas songs starting September here in the States. I almost don't hear Christmas songs until December. Until after Thanksgiving, we that's the only time we can start playing Christmas songs. Or people give me a hard time when I start playing Christmas songs.
No, it's we're still not, Black Friday. We're still waiting for Black Friday or
Yes.
Thanksgiving, not yet
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
Even Christmas lights, like I miss putting up Christmas lights super early. I think growing up, my parents made it a big thing that we start hanging up Christmas lights, and then little by little we add new things to the house. So for me as well, like this has been tradition for us to right after Thanksgiving now, Larissa and I grab a fresh tree, like a fresh Christmas tree from a tree farm, and then that's our own tradition. We have a fresh Christmas tree. You can smell the the aroma of fresh pine, and then hang the Christmas lights. Um, Filipinos also, I miss the parol. So, oh man,
Yo, does do
yeah.
you guys have paroles in some of your the Filipino homes there, or someone is displaying paroles, or in LA, or have you
We
seen
are.
one? Okay, okay,
We
okay,
do.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. So my parents went back home sometime in July of this year, and they brought us home a parol. So they like bubble wrapped the crap out of that, made sure that it survived the way, and it's yeah, they got a really nice one too. So uh for our listeners and viewers, a parol is a I don't know why this is the case, but this is like a star that's made out of either capiz, so capiz is like seashells, or it's made out of like colored paper, and then there's
Yeah,
lights inside. It's really obnoxious. It's uh can't stare at it for too long. It's gonna blind you if you do. But it's but you put
yeah.
it outside your house, and it's like it's so damn bright, but I love it. It just
Well,
reminds me.
it's uh
Yeah.
yeah, for everyone, probably the Latin area, probably the Latinos, Latinas are probably familiar with it, because parol, for them it's parol, which means lantern, Latin,
Oh,
and
at all.
yep, and it's coming from, as you said, uh a star, which means uh for us Filipinos, a symbol of hope and joy. Uh,
Mm.
which I do think that's why we're showing that lanterns, as a symbol of hope for celebrating Christmas, and and it's originated in Pampanga, in the province of Pampanga. That's why they have a design making contest of giant lanterns.
Oh,
Uh,
no way.
and it's uh, it came a long way. It came a long way now. And Filipinos, once they had that word farol, oh, and then okay, it's parol now. It's probably
Parol, yeah.
it's others uh keep on telling, oh, it's parol, but it's like parol, parol, and then
Parol.
it became a word now,
Oh, I
which is
see. And then Tagalog too, di ba walang F? Is that right? Like in the Tagalog language or Tagalog dialect, they don't have F.
Yep.
So it ends up becoming a P. So I guess fun fact too, if you ever hear your titos and titas who cannot pronounce or continue flipping their F's and their P's, this is the reason there is no F in the Tagalog
Yeah.
dialect. So give them give them some grace. There is none.
It's probably of the Latin words. Uh, I don't know. Maybe me recognizing that if you tell the P for Filipinos at that time, it's much stronger
Yes.
pronunciation. Like it's just the F, like farole. F, like you're trying to speak in something. Uh, Probably the filling is soft.
Yes.
Uh, but that's us. Uh, at the time, maybe I'm thinking of what happened at the time. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
fun fact,
I
right? How about
I would
yours?
s- I would say here it's very really crazy. I would say that's the best term. A crazy joy feeling.
Hmm.
Uh, it's you can see decorations right away as early as September. You can see restaurants, fast food chains decorating Christmas vibes. Uh,
Yes.
all the drive-throughs, uh, especially Jollibee and McDo, are like competing Christmas decorations. Even malls are just like competing, whichever has the best Christmas decorations, so that people will come over and uh, in SM, one of the malls, uh, especially I would say SM North,
Yeah.
uh, they have this big Christmas tree with a giant reindeer,
Wow.
and it's moving. So it's like he said, it said it's moving. So people just come over, take a picture, in which that's uh, and they have it as early as November,
Yeah. I love
right?
that. It
Right after the Halloween part. It's like, oh, there's a Christmas tree already.
yeah. You know what's crazy too? To put things into perspective, I know how expensive electricity is in the Philippines, but everyone goes all out on Christmas lights.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like I I was joking with Larissa that in the Philippines, it's the more Christmas lights you have, that's a show of how much you love Jesus. You know?
Yeah, I can attest to that. My mom just uh had six paroles outside and put Christmas lights around the house, the usual.
Yeah.
Uh, but she's being uh I would say sustainable. Some of the Christmas lights are coming from it's a solar lights.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's like once it's evening, it just turns into automatically light until it's just burnt out, and then uh only the ones in the plug is the parol.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But
Nice, nice.
most of the Christmas lights are now we already have that.
So
uh
we're yeah, sustainable Christmas decor is the new industry.
yeah, yeah, it's something that is quite new. But I like it. It's because like you don't have to wait to like switch on something.
Mm,
It just turns on what is it early evening,
yeah,
and then probably like around 3 a.m. it just turns off.
I love that. I love that.
I
Uh,
could add something. Uh, Aside from the longest celebration of Christmas, it's uh it's the joy of uh celebrating it with everyone, not just family.
mhm,
So uh in a very very I would say different feeling.
mhm.
Uh you could see people especially right now. I think at this time, uh, really share their blessings. I'm not saying it's different there. I would say
Yeah.
it's just really here where I would say it's a third world country, and uh people are really doing something to take care, or share their blessings to to the poorest of the poor, to those who are in really need of
Mm,
it. That's
yes.
why we
Yes.
probably that's why the government some have a 13-month pay.
Hmm.
uh I think we're not the only one who have that, but it's just because it's an added for you to spend on or save, but at the same time you could help more. And
Yeah.
that's why you could see like feeding, uh like they have like some of their Christmas parties are feeding some of the orphanage. uh it's just the feeling of sharing it, and making just it's different, probably in somehow some way,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's evident and you can see it right away. Another thing is you can see the blend of cultures. This We were colonized with different countries, as
Yeah.
we've said on previous podcasts,
Yeah.
and we've been uh the Spanish culture, the American culture, uh, and I would say, uh, and the tribe thing with the Filipinos. Uh, it's been tagged and it's been mixed around. So I would say, uh, the family gatherings are different. Uh,
Hmm.
it's it's a community feeling. So I would
Yes.
say if you're going in I'm not sure in the US, but here, it's like if you are living in a community where you are really dense in the like there's no space, so
Hmm.
you, you guys are celebrating Christmas as all of you guys celebrating. Uh, unless if your house is in a different area where there's exclusivity, but
Mm.
sometimes
Yeah.
and most of the families are quite near to each other. We say it's far. It's far because there's traffic,
Yeah.
but uh, it's like a family reunion. Uh, so like everyone on both sides are coming in one place,
Yeah.
celebrate it. Uh, I think that's one. Two is uh the karaoke. It's not just on
Karaoke.
birthdays. It's
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Uh, I think the new one is I think the new one that I would say is there's just that I just felt that uh, the lechon,
Lechon is necessary for you
yeah,
guys.
for I believe it's unnecessary for I st- actually I stopped this Christmas because we're just uh try to make it a healthy celebration,
Yeah.
but you will see on most of the families, uh
Y-
if it's Noche Buena, if it's a Medianoche, you could see a line in some of the lechonarias. So,
Mm.
well, I did not line up, so
You got it. Got it. Dude, it's so weird. No, it's not weird. It's more that it's so interesting that you bring up those 3 points. I took notes of what you said. So it's the lechon. There's the large parties and karaoke. I think most of those we tend to follow and continue here in the states. I think the part that we don't get to do as much anymore as just large parties. Like yeah,
Very large.
very large. Like 50 is like just easy. It's easy to hit. I think the big difference too is that in I think here in the States, like obviously in the Philippines, it's a majority uh
Oh
Catholic
yeah.
country. And so everyone goes off during Christmas. Like they go crazy during Christmas with gift giving, the spirit of like just celebration for Jesus. Here it is pretty it's a good reminder that like the United States is not a majority Catholic. Maybe there are probably a good chunk of Catholics, but it's nowhere close to the Philippines. So like you'll see in our neighborhood, there's like maybe like every three houses has Christmas lights on. Other people are like they're either Buddhist, they're Muslim, or um, just something different. And yeah, and they're not celebrating this. It's just it's
I think that's the funny part. That's the funny part. Here, uh, they're celebrating it with the family. Is they cannot do
yeah.
anything about it. I mean, on the Christmas day, they
Yeah.
don't have the festivities or the celebration.
Mhm.
But from October to December, they cannot do anything about it, especially if it's a company or someone invited them.
Yeah. You
Uh,
have no choice. If you're not Catholic, you're Catholic for the next couple months. You are.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I do miss that. I do miss the spirit of Christmas coming in. Like for me, I really don't think I feel it up until Christmas and maybe even like Christmas Day, but um I think that's just me at this point, you know. It's I know that like Christmas is more of a if we're really being serious about Christmas, it's really about the coming of Jesus, and it's more about like um, preparing ourselves, right? But I don't know. There's a part too that I love my presents. I love my food. I look forward to the lechon and the karaoke and the large parties. Um, but yeah, it's a good reminder, right, of of what it's really about.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
we have and to add, here we have this MMFF. It's the Metro Manila Film Festival.
Yes.
Uh, I don't know why they put it on Christmas. They usually start the Christmas showing on the Christmas day itself. Uh, and before it's really like a family movie.
Hmm.
Uh, it's like a funny movies. It's just really like a family comedy show or a horror that's good for family. But uh, now because the viewers are more, I would say, looking for good stories because probably Netflix arrived. K drama, K movies also arrive with like very good storytelling as well, and the access. So the
Yes.
viewers and the next this generation is looking for really good stories, and I would say this year they have one of the best lineup of movies. So, but I would say as well, like if they could change the date of the
Yeah.
because you cannot really watch everywhere on the span of 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
It's hard.
So I would say probably on somehow mid-year so that you have time to show it, and showcase it, and probably by December they have the awards. Uh, but yeah, they have a really good lineup. I suggest 80% of movies should be watched on. Uh, there I could say the movies. First is uh, it's headed by Vice Ganda. It's
Hmm.
not a comedy centric movie. It's
Yeah.
really like a family drama story. And the title is And the Breadwinner is.
And the breadwinners. Okay.
Next is Green Bones. It's a story of It's headed by Dennis Trillo and Ruru
Mm.
Madrid. It's a really good concept of life of incarceration. Uh, so it's it's a different feeling. It's also like a thriller, drama, family. Next is a musical. Uh, it's headed by Aisel Santos.
Mhm.
Uh, she is one of what I think one of the best singers here. Uh, uh the title is Isang Himala. Uh, and
Some.
it's a musical.
Oh,
It's
okay.
also uh, and I would say it is indeed from the reviews from the trailer. It's really good to see it. The next is The Kingdom.
Mhm.
It is headed by Vic Soto. It's the first movie of Vic Soto that is not comedy.
Really? Wow. Okay.
So it's he does drama if it's or it under Eat Bulaga her his variety show if it's like Holy Week. But
Mm.
now it's his first movie that is very serious. The
Yeah.
Kingdom is I would say the plot of it is what if the Philippines was not conquered and just stay to its system.
Wow.
So
Wow. Very
uh
cool.
what if, and as you can see there are four countries only in Southeast Asia that stayed to its system and not colonized. So what if?
Very nice. Oh, I'm looking at all the movies that you talked about. These are really cool. I really want to find a way to watch these. Um,
Not sure
the
if but if but yeah, if it holds in Netflix, then I'll probably some of it I'll watch it. Uh,
Yeah.
I encourage everyone on our Philippine viewers to watch it in cinemas if you have time. Uh, I'll will try to make time until
Yes.
January 5. Uh, there's also one action movie. It's Topak. Uh, there's also other movies like Espantajo, My Future You, Uninvited. Uh, but the ones that I mentioned earlier, it's critically acclaimed. One like because they really stand out.
Hmm.
Story, the plot, the acting. It's just really difficult because this festivity is start of Christmas 25th, and then it's just for 2 to 3 weeks,
Hmm.
and and they encourage you to watch it all of it. uh,
I
but the
love it.
problem for that is first it is expensive. It's like 500 per ticket,
Mm.
and and it's different as well. It's because uh they're not showing all for all malls because for malls they want to be income. So if your movie is like not for everyone everyone or most of the consumers doesn't want that movie,
Yeah,
so that's the difficult part. Maybe
I
some of
see.
it is small budget but very good storyline. But yeah, I hope for our Filipino viewers to watch it and for our viewers abroad, the US, once if it's available, if you could watch it as well. Uh, it's really good. Uh, their entries right now, I think, is different. It's kind of different vibe. They trying to catch up.
Yeah. It's interesting because I'm looking at the list that you were talking about, and they seem like very serious movies nowadays. Like
Yeah,
I remember growing up yung mga movies natin, mga Enteng Kabisote, yung
yeah, yeah,
Panday, but this one is really taking it more seriously, and it looks like the cast is also switching to a different tone. Parang exciting. I'm really proud to hear this because it's nice. So yeah, for our viewers too, bago kayo manood ng Wicked, I know I spoke highly about Wicked, bago kayo manood ng Weekend, manood muna kayo ng MMFF. As much as possible, do it. Yeah, this is so interesting. I'm really gonna find a way to watch it here in the States because I think this is um, we need to support our own movies.
Yeah,
Uh,
I hope they make it available for
yeah,
and show it abroad for screenings. Uh, uh, because it's different. It's a different genre. It's a different plots. Uh, it gives you a sense of, I think, uh, proud feeling because they're
yes,
making these films. It's not just the same as before.
yeah.
So, and they're now starting to do that.
I love that. I love that. Very, very cool. Thank you for the share. No, I didn't even know that it's happening right now. So this is maybe a new Christmas tradition for our listeners. Go watch MMFF movies. Yeah, support our local movies because I think our stories need to be told. And and you you showcase how you support our filmmakers and artists through your money. That's kind of how this is. Like the movie theaters are not going to show movies unless you show them that you're willing to pay. So, uh, yeah, definitely going to find a way to do that. Speaking of movies, there's also a movie that's been coming out here in the States that is also made by a Filipino director. Um, and the movie. It's a documentary called Nurse Unseen, and it tells the story of the nurses uh, that served and many who perished during the pandemic. Uh, it it's actually a very powerful movie because it showed that um, Filipinas. So, as many know, especially here in the states, that you'll notice that most of the nurses are Filipinas, like
Yeah.
Filipinos and Filipinas, and it's disproportionately happened that during the pandemic, it's a lot of Filipinos and Filipinas who died as front of line workers when COVID first broke out. And so this movie um, explores about the the humanity and of like all of these nurses that just wanted to serve and take care of their patients, even
Yeah.
when they were at risk of dying. But it's also a great way to show that Filipinos have been doing this for many years. For uh, the the original OFWs were nurses who came here to the United States. So um, special shout out to the nurses, our family members, and our friends who are nurses here in the States and everywhere else. Um, Also, yeah, recognizing the work that
I,
they do
yeah.
and yeah.
I think before, it's because the economy is still there. It's because it's top. Us apart with the U.S. It's not like we are very far away to the
Mhm.
economy standpoint. So when the U.S. need the support and uh Filipino nurses show up, and then be there. Uh, it's also give a testament of like the partnership and ties uh of it, and as well it's not just the nurses. There's farmers that move
Yes.
in Hawaii, in different places in
Fresno,
US.
Stockton, yeah, all of
Yeah,
those areas.
so
San Jose.
those services that provided because of the partnership, not just it's a new in order. It's not that. It's because the need to be there.
Yeah,
It's because here at that time, not this time, at that
yeah,
time, the economy is there. It's not it's stable. It's not
yes,
it's maybe not the same with the US, but it's like Singapore. it's
yeah,
it's rich. It's So the need the people is like as a necessity. It's a duty,
Yes.
and I think the caring and how Filipinas. So that's why it's a joke from comedians. Why in ER there's no Filipino nurses? Why in Grey's Anatomy there's no Filipino nurses there?
Yes. Yeah.
You're not really showing what's really there. But there's a series now, right? Saint is it
St. Denis.
Saint Denis, and it's
Yes. I
headed
love
like
it.
to Filipina there, and not just the main character, the side character. They also have
Yes.
Filipinas, and they're speaking in Tagalog.
Yes.
So it's really good. It's really good because that's I believe that's one of the realities here. And you said pandemic. My sister is in based in UK, and she's one of the frontliners. We were really fortunate, that it's not, it's not everyone have that same story with us that been safe because some succumbed to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's really difficult time there, and uh, you can see how Filipino nurses step up during those times.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because of the money, uh, because that's the opportunity to serve.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's huge. I um uh, uh, big thank you to your sister for being one of those frontliners who sacrificed their lives and because they really care. And I know I don't think this was our intention with this episode to highlight the frontliners and all the OFWs. This is a nice way to remember that, like, remember our family members and friends who during this time that may be away from their families, um, that uh, this is a time to say thank you um, for the sacrifices that they're doing. But I think it also um, brings up a sad part that, yeah, some people are away from their families, and we want to uh, and we want to send those guys our love. That what you're doing is really making a tremendous impact to your families. That you are loved, that you are appreciated for all the work that you do, and that we recognize all the people that are doing amazing things out there throughout the world. So yeah.
It's easy to forget, and it's really hard to remember them. That's why we have these documentaries. We have this to mortalize them.
Yes, yes, yes. We see you, fam. We see you. And the yeah, if any of you guys want to jump on our podcast, we'd love to highlight your stories and talk about your stories.
Yeah,
I know we have.
share in the comments section. Share anything and what you reflect for and what you're thankful for this Christmas, and before the year ends.
Yeah. And if you have an OFW family that you want us to shout out in the next episode, please drop it in the comments. We'd love to give them a shout out and talk about them. This podcast is for you guys and for your family members. Uh, well, I know we're going into 2025 soon. We're only a few days away. Sean, what are you expecting in 2025? Let's go into personal goals and dreams. What are you hoping for?
Uh, Personal goals is really more of like a really healthy, healthy 2025. Uh, Having still looking forward for new opportunities. We have an upcoming slush bar.
Hmm.
I'll introduce it soon. Um, we're also doing some startups that I'm engaged with in terms of the EV landscape. So I hope it could go well as well. Uh, as the EV landscape in the Philippines got better.
Yeah.
Next, would be uh, next is more on uh just uh be more of a personal goals really lose weight. Uh, I'm targeting like 10 to 20 kilos weight to be lost just to have that power where I can really eat anything and try to be strict.
Yeah.
Uh, but next would be uh last personal goal that really wanted to do is we have this in the Philippines civil service
Mm.
uh
Hmm.
exam in order for you to work in the government. Uh, I haven't took it up. That's why I have an article in Medium where I I have an opinion article with that. Like
Hmm.
after college, it's supposed to be mandatory to take up civil service.
Yeah.
Uh, just to test and have the opportunity that if you're not that if you wanted to try government, there's also a pathway to that.
Hmm.
Uh, Now it's just me wanted to see if I want to be a civil service commission uh, certified.
Mm.
More of a personal goal, and you know maybe there will be opportunity to work for the government in the future. Why not? I have I can work because I have eligibility.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try and took up the test next year.
Wow. Dude, that's huge. Awesome.
That's one of my goals. Uh, uh, because my dad worked for the government for almost 5 decades, or no, it's 4 decades. Yeah, 4 decades, and it's me like checking if there's opportunity there in the future.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if there's an opportunity in the future, I wanted to have like most of the list of the requirements that I have. Like I'm like all of the checklists are good before like someone asks you if you're good to work for this, and then like
Yeah.
uh no, you're not. You still have to be took up exam. Oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
wanted to be prepared for that. It's one of my dreams to work with a financial institution in the government landscape as well in the future.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, like BSP, uh, which is the Central Bank of the Philippines. Uh, it's different if you're there serving people.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of feeling. But yeah, that's the future. But it's the step by step process. So yeah. How about you, bro?
Wow. No, that's awesome. I love the goals that you have. Um, on my end, I also want to focus on health. I also want to reduce weight. So uh, I'm also in the camp of about like mine is about 20 pounds. So I don't know how many kilograms that is, like 10
Yeah.
kilos, about 10 kilos. Uh, yeah, I want to live healthier for sure. Like what I mean by live healthier is like um, I want to be able to like function daily life where I'm not out of breath going up the stairs. Like I can run without feeling like pain in my knees. I'm starting to get that. Like I'm 31 right now, and I don't want to be that person that's like waking up in the morning with like back pain randomly.
Yeah.
I'm like I know people joke around about like, oh, you're in your 30s, and everything just hurts randomly. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to I don't want to have that. I want to beat the stereotype, but I am feeling that right now. Like I have plantar fasciitis on my left foot, and it's like, dude, why do I have this right now? Like I'm way too young to have this. And I want to do this because we want to start a family. Larissa and I want to start a family in the near future. And I want to make sure that I am set up properly before we have we have a kid. I want my life to be uh I want to start strong as I become a parent. I want to be an inspiration to my kid too, that like I can move around and do things just like them. I want to be able to play sports with them and like run around and not be out of breath. So I think baseline
Uh-huh.
baseline aspiration of just being healthy enough to be there for my kid or children if I'm blessed. And the other part that uh, I just want for me is I want to get deeper into my faith. So I think I allude every now and then about like my newfound relationship with my faith and how uh, I have been using that to center myself and um, allow me to go through the different adversities in life. Um, and I think what I'd like to pursue in the future too is so I right now I'm in spiritual direction. I have a priest that I meet with once a month. But I'd like to explore how in the future if I could be if if I could uh, do spiritual direction for other people too, and whether in the future I could be a deacon. I've
Oh, okay.
yeah, I've I've talked it out with my spiritual director, and uh, I think if I ever leave the work that I'm doing now, I'd probably work at a church. But I don't
Well,
know if that's yeah,
I could suggest to you right now. I
yeah,
think right now the need for the church is to fill in the intergenerational gaps.
yes.
It's I believe the Pope acknowledges it,
Hmm.
but not everyone on the ground acknowledges it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what I mean on the ground is the lays, the priests, the nuns. Uh, I'm not just saying for all. Some
Hmm.
are innovating, some are changing the way how they approach it, and
Yeah.
their social media. I'm not saying you should do uh you should do YouTube blogs. It's a different perception. It's a different but if you could serve both sides, which is uh the people serving and
Yes.
people providing the service, which is priests, nuns, giving them the lecture, the, the how you should approach the next generation.
Mm. Yes.
That's the next because that's the future.
Yeah.
Uh, and and like my I we have a uh uh the my friend priest Father Dodot, uh when the start of Facebook, he's part of it.
Hmm.
He is really engaged with us. He's really he's talking with us more rather than the older people.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like he's really making time when we're in high school and college.
Yeah.
He does the effort in making sure like we the attention coming from us is known, and he's doing it for us.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's really talking with us. Not everyone is really that for that, but I would say what I suggest to you, especially in some of the countries where it's not dominantly Catholic, is
Hmm.
to do intergenerational gaps, because
Yeah.
that's one that gives not attention, and it's not just for one person, it's for all. It's for
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe you can you're capable to share that experience, because we're on that phase where we're in the middle.
Yeah.
Our generation is in the middle. We can understand the traditional side. We say traditional, but the traditional will be the next traditional.
Yeah.
But that's how probably the one that you could focus on before you go to the next level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, because I completely agree. I I think I'm wanting to do this because I also feel for myself that this is what, like, for me, I would have wanted this. I would have wanted a lay person that is strong in their faith, who I can talk to. And I feel like for me and my friends already, they already feel this. There's general distrust with the church, but there's a general desire for deeper faith and faith-based spiritual conversations. And I think I think I can do
Yes,
it. And so
and the
I want to
closed barrier.
pursue.
I would say, Arvin, bro, the closed barriers. Uh, there's a belief where we should be closed, needed. And I would say it's not now. It's not happening. We should be
Hmm.
really open, acknowledging everyone. Uh, because the 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 uh the Muslims are opening their doors.
Yeah,
They're and and you can see other countries opening themselves for that.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
and and it's not a knack. It's not a disadvantage. It's not. It's really just there's a different time now,
Hmm.
and there's no center one. There's no lead. There's no you are the dominant one. There's no that. It's just let it be open and give it and embrace it.
Yeah, especially
Uh,
during this time, right, where there's so many divisions. It's like our our world is more polarized about, like, are you this person or are you this person? Where it's like, where's the middle? I want to exist in that middle area where I can
well, I
I
think it's
yeah,
also a reflection of social media. I would
yeah,
say. Uh, Social media gives you it's like NBA.
yeah,
I don't know the logic why I shared that, but NBA is it's a team, it's a team
yeah.
sport, but what it earns the most of the league because of the individuality.
Mm,
So so you're making a name for yourself. You are the brand, the player,
yeah.
not the Los Angeles Lakers,
Hmm.
not the Boston Celtics. It's you as a player give the value to the team. So
Mm,
if your brand is showing there, it's the same thing with the social media as a whole forever. You're making a brand now in order for
yeah,
you to earn. And what comes out from you is the brand itself. You are the brand. So if
yeah,
you and that's what they're doing right now because they want to establish themselves, earn from it, and use all social media as you are the brand.
mm,
That's
hmm,
why there's now like streamers, influencers.
yeah, yeah. But anyways, I think there's just a divide, and I think we can. Uh, me and you and this podcast could be that middle ground too, where we just talk without uh we just talk about the facts and discuss it, and hopefully our viewers can engage too. So I guess one last thing that I'd like for us to touch on, how do you want the podcast to continue in 2025? I think eight eight episodes in, we are this is I think this is gonna have to be our last podcast, the
Ye-
2024, and then
yeah. Uh,
yeah,
I think we should start where we still continue what we're doing.
yes,
We should talk about a lot of things. We can still talk about lots of things. We haven't talked about uh the political landscape of different countries.
hmm,
What's going on? What it affects to us.
yes,
Uh, it's a general thing. We're not taking it as aside. It's just uh how it goes. That's life.
yeah,
And uh what are initial thoughts because we're not the ones that in the above in the
yeah,
hierarchy system. So uh also as well other things like health. Uh, there's some issues and chismes or memories with our friends, batchmates that we can tackle off next year, and
Yes.
it's a really good thing to continue. Uh, we're still looking for that niche. Uh,
Yes, yes, yes.
uh, but yeah, it's and we're hoping to get more guests that we could talk about more. And lots of things. So we'll see, and looking forward from it. Looking forward from it. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. My my hope is that we can get more guests in 2025 as well. More guests that are friends of ours so that we can take the time to catch up and learn from them. But also to our current listeners and viewers, yeah, if any of you guys want to jump on as a guest, please hit us up. We just want to talk, and I think we enjoy just discussing different issues, and uh, we've kind of tried a little bit of some politics. We try not to go too deep into it. We've tackled some pop
Like
culture.
yeah,
Yeah.
getting some sight. It's more on like giving the viewers the curiosity, the
Yes.
where uh the taking both sides. It's just one side, and
Yes. Yes.
really think about it. Uh, it's because at the end of the day, it's you who doing the life, doing the end to end what your daily life is. But what it
Yes.
affects you should is also affecting us, whether in US or in Manila. That's it's the same thing.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So, this is gonna be our last podcast of 2024. Uh, Thank you guys for supporting the podcast. 8 episodes in throughout 2024. Um, Let us know in the comments, and I'll put a poll in down below too on how do you want the podcast to continue in 2025. We want to hear from you. We want to keep talking with you if it's possible. Um, and so we'll end the podcast here. So thank you
Oh yeah,
guys again.
wait.
Oh,
Feel
go
free
ahead.
to subscribe on a Spotify channel and our YouTube.
Yes.
Feel free to comment and uh, and please like and subscribe.
Tell us what you don't like too. I think we we want to hear all your feedback. So appreciate you guys for supporting. This is another episode of Cali Manila Chronicles, Chismes et Recuerdos
The
podcast.
podcast. Thank you, everyone.
See you guys.